Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Kensei, and you're listening to Kensei's podcast.
Burning bridges, burning bridges, burning bridges, burning bridges, burning bridges, burning bridges, burning bridge, burning a bridge.
All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. This is episode 2 of Kensei's podcast, and I think today's title might be "I Feel Bad for Your Mother," and we'll get into that later. He who shall not be named knows why. But we're going to get into some things today, but what I wanted to start out with first is some, I think they call it housekeeping, where I just get this shit out the way. Follow me at Kensei Abbott on Twitter, Instagram, wherever. And we've got new merch out because I got a new song coming out October 8th. October 8th, save the date. Hit me up. Get the pre-save link. It's on my Twitter, whatever. Search it up. But October 8th, new song coming out. We have new merch for that. On the merch page, it's going to be kenseiabbott.creator-spring.com. I'm working on the domain. I'm going to get it or not. I don't know, whatever. But that's where it's at. And yeah, check it out. We got some merch there for the new song, and we have some stuff still there from previous releases. But yeah, that's what's going on. And so, yeah, just wanted to get that out the way. Want to make sure that you guys all know where and what's going on. But yeah. Subscribe to the YouTube. Let me know you're out there. Hit me up. Message me. A few people have messaged me out. Well, more than a few people actually hit me up and said congratulations. So thank you very much. I appreciate those kind words. Thank you guys for all the support that you guys been sending me. All the positive vibes. Letting me know that you're feeling it. And, you know, I'm going to do it regardless. Even if you were like, oh, man, this sucks, you know. But you know, why would you be listening to it? But anyway, thank you. I do appreciate it. Every little bit of positive reinforcement always helps anything. So keep that in mind when you got your friends doing things too, because they haven't been recording for 10 years and don't know how to set things up or whatever. And maybe things sound shaky. So give them some support, you know, give them criticism. It's very important in the creative process. And in other news, Lonnie just dropped a new album, new EP. So you're gonna check it out right now.
Yeah, she hella gothic, ride it like she a diva. Ride it till she exhausted, eat me up like a creature. Find her on the molly, this girl a keeper. Find me with that walkie, I'm sipping up in that bleach.
Okay, yeah, so that was Baby Lonnie's new track, Hysteric. Hit that up. Got the visual going on. Follow him, do all that. So today we're going to go into a few things. The See Me Fall video was a topic some people wanted to hear about and have been wanting to hear about, because that was kind of a big moment and very cool video shoot that I was part of. And we're going to go into today why I'm now considering myself the gum guy. I'm going to talk about the 87 haul I picked up. And shorts. Do I like them? I don't know. And we're going to go into some other stuff too. Obviously, wrestling's coming later. But yeah, so See Me Fall. 2015, we did the track. Amazing. Everything, you know. And then Ro hit me up and was like, yo, let's, you know, we're going to do the video. This is what we're thinking. This is what I'm thinking, whatever. I'm like, oh, that sounds dope. Whatever. Let's do this, whatever. That sounds cool, because he's trying to create, or he did create, this universe of Wonderland and the experience of being in that while you're listening to him and everything that was going on in his life and my life and the music in general, and just a lot of stuff going on there. It was one big like experience in itself. But yeah, so he's talking about the video we got with Anthony Polino, put the whole thing together. Shout out to him. And so the day that we're meeting up for the video, we go to the city. We're all going to meet up and then travel out to New Hampshire. That's where we shot it. And just trying to think about what I can say and not say. But so we go up to New Hampshire. There's two or three vehicles and a truck, and with like all the equipment in it and whatnot, because this is like the real deal. And we're going up, and I've never been to New Hampshire. I'm from Queens, and I feel like most people from Queens haven't been many places but Queens or New York in general. Probably been to Florida, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, whatever. Yeah. But that comes with living in New York. You're gonna go there, but I feel like most New Yorkers kind of stay in New York because it's kind of the best city in the world and kind of the worst city in the world. But anyway, that's another topic. But so we're in Manhattan, we're going up, we're going towards New Hampshire, and we're in this van or crammed up, whatever. We get over there, and now the stop signs start disappearing, the signs start disappearing, the lights start disappearing. It's getting dark, and the Wi-Fi is not. There's no signal, none of that. And we're trying to go off of what we remember the directions are, and who the driver and what he can remember and everything. And so we have to turn down this like little. It's not even a road. It's like a cut in between the trees, and so you kind of just turn into this little cut and you drive down for a bit, and then there's like a fork. We choose the right fork at the road in the road, thank goodness. And we go down this winding path, and this is just trees and darkness. The only lights that are going on are the ones from the stars and the headlights, right? So then we finally pull up to this house in the middle of nowhere. I'm telling you, the middle of nowhere. And yeah, it was cool. We started unloading. I think the truck hit like a pothole. I don't know if that was when we got there, when we were leaving, but it was stuck. But we get there, we start unpacking. And then within like 5 minutes, the house is on fire. It was crazy. I don't even know how it happened. Somebody lit something up, and then it just started going down. I was outside with Ro, so we had nothing to do with it, of course. But oh yeah, shout out to Chef Josh. Yeah, he was holding it down. I think he saved the day. I don't remember, but let's go with that. Josh saved the day. But yeah, then after the first night, set up, everybody chilling, eating, whatever, we had a chef, and we start shooting, and it's brick, man. It's cold. It's got to be December or something like that. I don't remember, but it was brick. And so we're just out there, and they had Ro in a t-shirt for hours, just chilling for this one shot. I think is when he's in like the glass box or something, just in the woods, just forever. And we're doing all the different takes and different shots and whatever. And there's one shot where I'm pulling the body out of the trunk, or I'm putting it in the trunk. Yeah, I'm putting it in the trunk. And there's a dude that's like, we're in this like clearing of the trees, and I'm getting out the old, I think it's a BMW or some old Mercedes, whatever. And a little farther off in front of me in this clearing, there's another dude parked there, and I see him. It's like an older looking gentleman from New Hampshire, beard, all wearing all camo, and he's in like a minivan or like a soccer mom. What are those things called? Freaking station wagon. So I'm like, oh, this guy's sus. And he's looking at us like we're sus because we don't look like we're from here. So I'm just like, oh damn, I'm New Hampshire. I guess gotta be careful, Not saying New Hampshire's crazy, but you never know. You in the middle of the woods, guy in camos chilling, staring at you, looking at you. Gotta keep your head on a swivel. That's what they told me back in the day. But anyway, do the shot. He minds his own business, but we do the shot, get that out the way. They had a crane that was used for a few shots. I think it was used for when he was in that box, and it was just a ridiculous setup. And I was like, wow, they really have a crane out here. But anyway, something that was really crazy for me, or not too crazy, but something that was interesting for me, was at the same time I was still doing that whole no face thing. And I guess I can go into that well, like if you don't know, back in like 2015, 14, whatever, I was doing my thing on Twitter, Instagram, and I had a lot of photos where I wasn't showing my face. And I never really meant for it to be a thing, but I had always kind of done that. Like as a kid, Facebook, whatever, MySpace. I just always would have it like cut off or something. So it was just kind of my thing. And so now I'm doing the music, and it's just a little bit more brand conscious, and I just kind of stuck with that image of, blending in with the shadows and being of the night, and, all those activities that come with that environment and ambiance is represented within, the person without having to have a face. I don't need a face, because I am of the faceless. I am you. I am y'all. I'm everyone. But it was interesting doing the video and trying to receive direction about showing my face when I'm like, nah, I don't do that. So it was interesting, but there's like, you might catch a small glimpse of my face back then, but yeah, you would never see my face really. But yeah, I decided to move away from that because I feel like representation is important. And there's a kid out there that looks like me, or that his brother looks like me, or something of the sort, and they are like, wow, he's like me, I can do this, or I can do whatever I want, or so if me looking like someone else, or you know what I mean, if that can help someone, then I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna sacrifice whatever artistic means I was using previous, because sure, it's cool and no face, whatever. I felt like it started catching on, not because of me, but it started becoming trendy, and so it was kind of a good time when I stepped away from it. But yeah, I felt like if I can inspire one person, then screw it, well, let's do it. So I just kind of started showing my face. But yeah, that's pretty much the story. There was a bunch of stuff that was going on that I just can't talk about, but that's pretty much the gist of it. We were just out there in the woods for days, and we had a chef. He was dope. There was a fire, there was a crane. It was cold as F, and it was cool as hell. And I met a lot of people, and I'm just thankful for being part of that, because it was a very dope experience, and still one of the biggest visual projects I've done. I've done some cool ones, shout out Daniel, but it was definitely an experience, and I could probably go into more specifics if someone asks me, so hit me up, let me know. But yeah, that's basically, I guess, that story. I guess if you want more specifics, let me know, like I said. But yeah, there's some interesting news that happened this week in sports and wrestling, where my boy hit me up and told me Mayweather and De La Hoya are supposed to fight, and I'm like, okay, let's talk about it. Okay. Mayweather doesn't need to, and I'm not a huge boxing fan. I respect it. Yeah, do your thing. But I grew up during the De La Hoya stuff, but I wasn't like watching it. But Mayweather, they're both great. They're both legends. They're both GOATs, whatever, right? They both don't need to do this fight. If they want to make a cool, quick 50 million, whatever the heck, go ahead, go for it, go crazy, dodge all the punches, make it a little dance fest, or a technical boxing affair. But I don't know if that's what they want to do, and maybe one of them wants to be a little bit more prideful and try to swing for the fences and knock somebody out, or actually just beat them. That could be it too. It could be all in competitive sport, and that's great. But I don't know. Yeah. So, other than that, we have some interesting things WWE wise with Gargano and Owens. Both have contracts up in December, January, in that area. So now everyone's like, oh my God, uh, is Gargano going to leave? Is Owens going to leave? Everyone thinks Owens is out of there. He's going to go be part of that AEW Owen Hart tournament, which I'll talk to you about a little bit. But before that, yeah, Gargano, he's not going nowhere. He's NXT for life. And if anything, throw him on SmackDown or Raw in a bit and let him, do his Daniel Bryan kind of thing, where he's like the underdog, or I don't know. He's just good. He's good at what he does, and I think he's chilling. So I don't know if he needs to go, because where would he even go? What is he gonna do? Is he gonna end up on Dark or Elevation? Like, come on. And Owens, I saw some tweet yesterday where it was like, oh, he's gonna take over the Fiend character, and I'm like, oh, because he's husky, he's like big bodied, he could fit that role, I guess. Throw the mask on him, and then what does he do, like the Mr. Rogers thing in a red polo or whatever, like, I guess. But if anybody goes, I could see him going, because him and like Sami Zayn, those guys, I feel like, just like Bryan or Punk, they're like indie made, and they've done pretty much everything they can do at this point over here. So it's like, why not go back? But Gargano, I feel like he still has a pretty high ceiling. Not gonna say he's gonna be world champion tomorrow, but he could definitely get on the main roster and get a belt, tag team, something. I don't know. I think he can do it. But yeah, AEW is doing this whole Owen Hart thing where they finally were able to get with his wife or his widow and use his likeness, use his name for a tournament, for action figures, for merchandise, etc. And that's crazy. Owen Hart hasn't been part of stuff like that in a long time. And so, because I heard that she doesn't want to be part of that. Like, she wasn't trying to work with the WWE. Not that she hates wrestling, but most definitely, in my opinion, it most likely has to do with his passing and that accident when he fell. If you don't know, Owen Hart had, this is right before I started watching, he was coming out to the ring, and they were doing some kind of zip line thing where he was hanging from a rope or something like that, and it snapped or broke or whatever, falls, hits his head on the turnbuckle of the ramp of the ring. So he's in the air, thing snaps, and he falls into the ring, and due to the collision or whatever you want to call it, he passed. But and they continued the show after that. Apparently they just cleaned it up and was like, all right, we're gonna on with the show. There's the show that never stops, right? So that must have been crazy. Imagine your boy and you have to go perform right after that. That's a wild ride. But anyway, so yeah, she definitely wasn't messing with them after that. And so yeah, it's gonna be a bunch of merch, bunch of figs, bunch of wrestling for Owen. That's great. So people are thinking that Owens, having him as an inspiration, would love to be part of that and win the cup or win the tournament, whatever. And I think that's great. I think that's a good idea. But I also think he's doing great here, and he's fine here. And sure, he could be like, oh, I need to get all this wrestling out of my bones and my blood. But I don't know. I feel like some of these guys that haven't been WWE champion multiple times and haven't been there for like over 10 years, they're kind of like, let me chill. Let me work within the structure. It's, it's not crazy. I'm not having death matches. Maybe it's not as exciting for some fans, but I'm thinking of the guy that's been on the road for 20 years, but just to get there and he's done it all like a Moxley or someone, and he's like, you know what? I did all that. I got here. Let me chill. And some like Moxley are like, you know what? I did all that. I got here, and they're still not doing what I need to do with me, and the WWE, that is. And so he's like, I'm out of here. But I feel like for Owens, he wasn't in the Shield. He was he was a big player in NXT, no doubt. But when he came to the WWE main roster, some Kevin Owens fans gonna kill me. He did his thing. He got belts for sure. He's dominant in his own way. But is he about to have like a Lashley run or a Drew McIntyre run? I don't think so. So I don't know. It's in the air, and I might have just confused myself and just contradicted myself with what I said. But he could do anything. He's super talented, and I don't know. I don't think they need to go anywhere. If I was them, I don't know what I'd do, because that's a crazy thing to even say. Naito's injured. Apparently, he's in the G1. That sucks. I haven't been following the G1 at all, and I don't know why that is. Maybe it's because there isn't someone in there that I'm like, oh, that's my guy. And I've been trying to find my guy, or like my favorite to watch recently, and it's been hard for me for the past couple of years. I think it's Reigns. It was Moxley a while ago, Ambrose, but right now I think it's Reigns. Braun Breaker, got to talk about Braun Breaker. And before I say anything about Braun Breaker, I'm going to tell you, when that figure comes out, cop that, cop 2. Maybe cop 3. This might be our John Cena, to be. Who knows? They might be putting the rockets on him. We've seen it before with other people, and it doesn't work out, but everyone's loving him. No one's, crying about his tie-dye singlet. No one's, everyone's crying about the whole name thing because he's a Steiner, but it's like, what the F ever, bro? Like, they gave him that name, let him rock it, and let's support him. Like, let's do it. It's what it is. It's what it is. They're not going to change it. Or maybe they will later, but I don't think they're going to go on Twitter and be like, oh, the Marks are crying, let's change the name. Yeah, I don't think that works that way. But yeah, they're putting the rockets on this guy. He's definitely going to slap up Ciampa and take that belt. Goldie's going bye-bye. So he's just like a solid... I feel like I'm watching 96 again. I was watching 96 Raws, like... I was basically watching the beginning of the Attitude Era, which I had never really watched. Like when Stone Cold becomes Stone Cold, when he has that promo at the King of the Ring as he's the ringmaster or whatever. And they slowly start rolling the Stone Cold like merch or like attire out every week. Like one week he's got a vest, and then the next week it's got like a skull on it, and then the next week he's got his cowboy boots, and the next week he's got different boots. Like they're trying to figure it out. So it's really interesting to watch that. But yeah, so I feel like NXT they're doing right now, and I called this, if you know me, I probably told you, I was like, oh, they're rebooting, turning it into like the new generation or whatever it was called, like pre-Attitude Era, that like colorful, very character gimmicky based wrestling stuff. And it's like, it's not everyone's cup of tea. It's not really mine, but I appreciate the legacy of it, if that's what they're doing. It seems like that's what they're doing, because you got this Braun Breaker guy. He's like someone that you would think would be in WWF in 95, like a big dude wearing wrestling gear, and he's slamming people around. And you got a few other guys like that that showed up. They got this one dude, I forget his name, big guy. It was a handicap match. Threw these dudes around like it was nothing. And I'm like, okay, here we are. 96, 95, 94. This is Diesel. This is Razor. This is, Adam Bomb. This is these guys. Vader. We're going this route because, we know the whole story about them moving away from the small dudes, which is, whatever. So yeah, it's just very interesting to watch it right now. And I really feel like Braun Breaker is about to, and I don't really put my name on things like that. Like, oh, watch, bet, this is happening, guarantee. Like, I never really do that. But something like this, I'm going to say, I can see him taking that title. I can see him just holding it down, doing some Roman Reigns type thing. And then he goes to Raw or SmackDown in a year. He gets drafted. And rocket, boom, to the moon with this guy. And they just put out an article, someone did. Forget who, Cultaholic or Fightful. Someone talking about how they're okay with talking to Steiner again, Scott Steiner. And this dude, Braun Breaker, who is his brother, Rick Steiner's son, they sound just like it's Scott. They sound all alike. And it's like, oh my God, imagine him managing him saying some crazy these 33 thirds and this percent of this, like, oh man, let's do it. I think they can make money with that. It's just easy, especially if you do it on NXT, where it's like, it's not that high profile and it's not going to matter that much if it doesn't work. As if it would matter if on other shows too, they would just pretend it never happened. Okay, outside of that, I need to talk about the effing Canadian Destroyer and the Sling Blade. I am tired of those moves. Can we do something else? Can we figure? And I'm not in the ring. I know. I get it. Whatever. That's what's hot. That's what they do on the big leads. So everyone's gonna do it too. Nah, man. Let's do something else. Give me a front drop kick. Give me a freaking, just do a running senton into him standing up. I don't know. Just do something else. Running eye poke. Because back in the day, it was the swinging neck breaker, running DDT, bulldog. Those were your like comeback moves or like your stop momentum moves. Right now, it's the freaking Sling Blade, and the Canadian Destroyer is more of like a wow pop moment. But the Sling Blade, I'm tired of it. Tired of the Canadian Destroyer. Oh man, he's so big. How do you do a Canadian Destroyer? Whoa. Okay, we get it. It's losing its appeal, at least to me. Everyone else is going crazy for it, so maybe I'm crazy, but that's just me. Effie and Cardona, we've seen it happen, and who called it? Who was talking about Effie last week? I was. I'm not even trying to, you know what I mean? Like, I called it. I'm like, yo, this guy's on. So he was calling out Cardona online, and they're like going back and forth. Cardona's probably listening to the podcast. That's probably what it is. But anyway, they're going back and forth, whatever. And then at GCW, Cardona is supposed to fight him in Queens. And he's waiting for him to come out. Effie comes from behind, rolls him up, 1, 2, 3, takes the title, runs out of there. And Zack Ryder was the champion for like 3,000 days. I'm like, all right, does that count? I don't know, whatever. But good job, Effie. Proud of you. Now just run this shit into a fucking contract. If that's what you want to do. I don't know. Brian and Omega, 5 stars, I guess. Okay, so I don't really care too much about the rating system. I've never been like, oh, that's a this star match. This is a that star match. Because what the hell does that even mean? Was it dope? Was it cool? Hell yeah. Was it not? Nah, it was whack. All right, moving on. I don't really care too much about the 5-star ratings, David Meltzer, whatever. I'm always open to hear what he has to say, just like anyone else, really. If you're talking about it, I'm going to listen. Not that I'm going to agree or whatever, but it's interesting to hear people's opinions that have been watching for so long, because they have a lot of insight, just like with anything else. If you here's the point for the day. If you know someone and they're very passionate about something, listen to them about it, because understanding how someone can be so passionate about something that you don't understand is going to teach you something. It might teach you about whatever they're into. It might teach you about how to communicate in a similar way about what you are into, because maybe you don't have a good time of doing that. But the point is, connect with your people, understand them, learn to relate, because you probably already do. You just haven't figured out in what way, through their passion especially, because everyone's passionate about something. No matter what you think you're the most boring person in the world, there's probably something that you love so much. Could be anything. Talk to someone about their passions. Do that tomorrow. Homework for y'all. We got what else we got? Oh, let's talk a little bit about that triple threat main event on Raw last week. I think it came out the day I did the first episode. And wow, Lashley, Reigns, and Big E. That was dope. Very cool for a main event of a Raw. We don't get those enough, and everyone thinks, oh, it's because of AEW doing everything. Football is also on right now too, so, and basketball is about to start up too. So it's like, it's not just AEW, but it is and it's not. There's a lot of stuff going on, but man, what a match! It was exactly what you thought it would be. You had Reigns winning at the end with the pin on Lashley, because excuse me, because at first you're thinking, okay, who's gonna lose this? It's not gonna be Reigns, and it's not gonna be Big E, because he just got the belt, so it's got to be Lashley, or it's some kind of screwy, dusty finish, right? And so the whole match is going back and forth, back and forth. You're like, oh snap, they're taking Big E out, he's taking this dude out, whatever. And Lashley ends up bringing out a chair and starts banging everybody up, like, oh, boom, boom, you dead. Slamming, who's he hitting up? He's hitting Big E up. He's killing him with the chair, like, you took my belt, you sucker, with the boom. Hits him up, and then he turns around, boom, spear, 1, 2, 3. Our tribal chief, head of the table, reigns supreme again. And man, he is doing so crazy good. Last night, Extreme Rules, I only caught the main event, but yeah, let's talk about that. Roman Reigns, Finn Balor, the Demon, in his like almost blackface demon mode, so you know he's about to go crazy, right? They're doing a thing, and like I like Finn Balor. He was one of the reasons I got really into New Japan back in 2014 or whatever it was, when AJ Styles was going over there and whatever. But the Demon's cool and all, mostly on like NXT and with like those kind of that kind of talent. But the Demon versus Reigns was cool. It's like, spooky guy shit, but like, mystical character thing, so just gotta go with it. But I don't know, it's just like, as you're watching the match and he's doing his thing, I'm like, okay, I don't know if I believe this is going the way it is. Like, how is this happening? And I know he's like Super Saiyan mode when he's Demon, but I don't know, it just looks funny. The funniest part of the match was when Roman threw him over the barricade and they're about to go into the crowd, and then he's like, oh, Paul Heyman, give me that. And he's like, all right, I got you, and puts a mask in his hand. He puts a mask on before he gets into the crowd. And so surprisingly, online, everyone's pretty supportive of it. I haven't seen too many people that were like, oh, he's got a mask on. I was like, oh, good for him. And if you can ask me how I feel about that, I'm like, yo, just put your damn mask on, bro. Let's just do it, man. Get it over with. It's not gonna be here forever. Just shut up, put it on, just whatever. Don't care. But yeah, So he put the mask on, beat his ass in the crowd, threw him back inside. And then something happened. The Usos came in and help him out, help out Reigns, break up a pin. They're outside. Reigns spears him through the barricade. Everyone's down. And then the lights go out, turns red. This music starts coming on. All of a sudden, it's like, dum dum, dum dum. Finn Balor starts gyrating on the floor, dum dum. And he gets up. Everyone's like, oh my God, Finn Balor, oh my God, he's alive, he's resurrected. And then he starts beating everybody's ass. And it's still red. Music is playing. His whole theme song is just playing while he's beating everybody's ass like he's New Jack. And he gets up on the top rope. He's about to do the coup de grace, his finishing move where he stomps on this motherfucker's chest. And he gets up there, and all of a sudden, boom, the top rope just snaps, and he just falls, kind of awkwardly too. But that must have been funny. And like when he's talking about it, like, okay, so it's gonna fall, and you gotta kind of catch yourself. He's like, all right, because when he fell, he kind of fell all over the place, but to the point where it's like, oh, maybe he is hurt. But that was a weird spot because I don't think I've ever seen that. You know, you've seen the ring collapse, but like the top rope collapse from like a dude that's like barely 180 pounds. You're like, all right, okay, cool. So like, what's the trick? Like, what happened? So then Reigns spears him, pins him, 1, 2, 3, and then everyone starts looking up, like, oh damn, God got me. Like it's Haku's, dad or someone up there like holding him down. But yeah, it's cool. I'm looking forward to whatever they talk about. Like, oh man, God he acknowledged the tribal chief. That'd be great. Oh, God came back after Vince McMahon beat him, and he's like, oh, I'm back. I'm gonna support Reigns. Who knows, man? But that was very funny, very interesting. People hate it. People are hating it right now, and I'm like, whatever. I kind of just accept whatever WWE does, and I don't really question it too much anymore, because I'm like, when I was a kid, I used to be like, oh, this is too much for me, I'm out. And I would tune out every now and then, like the sex celebration with Edge and Lita. I was like, yo, I'm out. Or when Rey Mysterio, I think he won the belt, y'all about to hate me. And I love Rey Mysterio, but at the time, it didn't make sense for me when he was like beating the Great Khali and like Undertaker on SmackDown. I'm like, yo, what is happening? And I get it, but I was just like, nah, this is not for me right now. And I had to tune it out. But now I'm just like, whatever. This motherfucker Lily with the doll or Alexa Bliss with it, whatever, man. It is what it is. It's like it's a mix of everything. So some things are not, because it's long as hell. So some things are not going to be for you. So you just, tune it out or appreciate it in different ways and just keep it moving. And that can apply to a lot of things in life. Just keep it moving. Love what you love, like what you like. If you don't like something, just keep it moving, my dude. Oh, so let me just get into a little bit. And I think I was supposed to do segments, but I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to be the whole like, hey, and now it's time to talk about this. We could. Let me know if you guys want segments. I was thinking of doing segments, but I kind of just feel the whole just talking thing too, going into it. But organization's always good. Let's see what happens. But yeah, I think I'm calling myself the gum guy now. I started chewing gum again because I think it's a good stress reliever. So you guys that don't chew gum because you're like, I don't chew gum, try it out. Next time you're like, oh, I'm in a stressful situation, let me just chew some gum before I get in there. It'll kind of distract you. So it's been doing for me. Another pro tip: you're going on a long drive, wear some shorts, roll them fucking windows down, enjoy that breeze, my dude. It's a lifesaver. And that's your tip for the day. But other than that, I got a good amount of Elite 87 this past weekend. I picked up Asuka, Escobar, 2 Chase Apollo Crews, and Warlord. I was looking for Warlord. I had to tell this little girl at the Walmart. I was like, yo, because I seen it on the pallet. Like they had a pallet out and they had a bunch of these little crumbs around the pallet. So that's what you call a herb. These little crumb workers just chit chatting, not working. And I saw that WWE box on that pallet. I was like, yo, let me see that. Open that up. And found Warlord in that month. I was like, yo, can't believe it. So next time you see people at a pallet looking for something, tell them open that damn thing up. They'll open it. That's what they gotta do. So yeah, that's all I needed from 87. So now I don't really gotta look for anything until 88. Gotta get the whole thing. And if you ain't know, this is Fig Talk. Maybe that'll be the name of the segment, Fig Talk. But I picked up that Triple H that I was talking about, the Triple H Jeff Hardy 2-pack. Came through. Perfect. You always get scared when you order from Amazon. I'm telling you, they be sending things in envelopes. Order a glass chandelier, they'll send it in an envelope. Craziness over there. But, you know, you luck out sometimes. And, yeah, other than that, I think that's it. I think, one more thing I gotta talk about. Man, social media is such a crazy place. And sometimes I'll be on Twitter, or mostly it's Twitter, and you go under a topic or a comment and you just start reading these things, and it'd be the dumbest like talk you ever heard in your life. And it's like, this is not new. I've been on Twitter since it came out, but it's like sometimes I'm just like, wow, like not even how old are you, but like what is going on in your life that you have to be so negative, or you have such an opinion on something that doesn't really need an opinion. Or, and sure, everything can have an opinion, whatever, but some things are just like, that's the hill you want to stand on. I guess, I don't know, maybe that's just me, but sometimes I just gotta log off. I just gotta you gotta catch yourself, because I know a lot of people are addicted to social media, and that everyone is really. You just go on there and you look and you search and you're not even searching for anything in particular, but you're just waiting for that next hit of dopamine from some video or picture or something, right? But just remember to log off sometimes. And I want to shout out Instagram real quick, because I hate on Instagram a lot, because I just never really enjoyed the platform for what I've seen on it, or what it enables, or all that other nonsense. But I want to give them a shout out for that new feature where you can hide your likes and hide the views on videos. So when you're looking at someone else's videos, they won't show up, and when you post your own, you don't have to show them either. And I think that's so healthy, because I feel like in entertainment, in music, in anything that you're doing, when you're looking for that approval of your peers, or that approval from your fans or supporters or random people on the internet, and you don't get it to the degree that you want or think you deserve, it can be like destructive to your mental health. It can be destructive to your well-being. So it's like, shout out to them for realizing that, if that's what the realization was, or maybe just people were just asking for it. But shout out to them for, I know why they did it. Shout out to them for at least implementing that thing. I think they did it because it promotes maybe someone like me to be like, oh, I'll get back on there, so I don't like go crazy with expectations, or you don't like get tricked into thinking, oh, this is popping on someone else's page, but it's really not, but it just has the numbers to support it. So you're just like, oh, I'll give it a shot. So all that kind of stuff, I think is not dead, but the people that understand will not be fooled as easily. And that's important, because you got to keep your mind open. You got to keep aware. You got to keep your eyes open. Keep everything open. Just be careful, because things things are flying in the air. But yeah, I think that's it. There's also Diablo 2 is coming back out on a remaster or something. That's dope as hell. I had Diablo 2, shout out Naya, back in like the 5th grade or something. I'm gonna age me now, but yeah, back then she had given out her copy of the game, and we would just burn it, and you just play it at the same time as everybody else. You can't do that no more. CD keys and stuff like that were just coming out. We had also gotten Half-Life, shout out Rose, who had given all of us a copy of Half-Life, and then we were playing Counter-Strike off of the same burned CD. Man, good old days, huh? Can't do that no more. But yeah, I think that's all the news. PS5 still can't cop them. I don't care. Don't want one really. Do you guys want a PS5? I don't know. What games would you get? I know a few people that just got one or trying to get one. They got a few games that they're thinking about. But yeah, if you want a PS5, let me know. I will not get you one. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for listening. I'll catch you guys next week. Yo, hit me up, DM me, tweet me, whatever. I'm at Kensei Abbott on IG and Twitter. Again, the page for the merch is going to be kenseiabbott.creator-spring.com. I got a ton of shit on there. Cop it all. Let me know. The link on the page is at the top, the Sword Saint logo. And if you want more, let me know. Hit me up. Peace.
Burning bridges, burning bridges, burning bridges, burning bridges, burning bridges, burning bridges, burning bridge, burning a bridge. That's my limit.